All right, welcome from Memphis, Tennessee for Bible Camp Day 2, but Day 3 of our mission trip. Today I'm joined by Nora and Mackenzie, two of my favorite students in the room at this moment.
Oh.
And so we have had another great day. I would say it was red hot. But anyway, Nora, tell us, as I shared as with the other students, tell me something you were a little nervous about before coming and kind of what you learned on the other side of that.
So one thing I was worried about was walking the kids to and from their houses because you hear you're in poverty Memphis and you don't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
But going through it the past 2 days, it hasn't been that bad. And I'm excited to go get the kids that we have every day.
That's a good point because most of us have not experienced poverty like this. And Memphis does have a bad reputation for a reason. And we are in a pretty rough area. But again, I think it speaks volumes to A, God's protection and provision, and B, how Brinkley Heights Baptist Church has ministered in this community for so long and how well it's well received. And I think that plays into, like there was a guy who sits out in front of his porch on our route and he drinks early and a lot. But we walk by, he's like, "Hey, Bible Club," and so, but that's it. Yeah. What about you, Ken?
Okay, so I was 100% concerned about the heat. I was like, man, there's not going to be a lot of kids. They're going to be complaining about the heat. How are we only going to be able to give them like their limited thing of water? But they're all so good and they're still all showing up and they're still running around. And I haven't heard a single complaint about the heat.
Mm-hmm.
They're still like, I'm going to do all of these crafts that you have set out for me. And it's just been really great that like they're that excited to come. That the complication of it being like easily 100 degrees outside is not deterring them from coming at such a young age.
Yeah, good point. We'll start with you. Yeah, so keep the microphone. Okay, let's see. Question number 2, Kinsey. Explain to people how we did part 2 of the food fight project today.
Oh, okay. So we were we set up by the big was it Highland
Park.
Highland Park sign. We set up a little canopy so they're not getting a warm, dry dinner. And we had handed out flyers the previous day, and anyone who would have liked the dinner that we had prepackaged because it was stationed off. So we had people packaging it up, and we had a couple people playing with the kids that they would bring, and we had people near the sign that would greet people as they would come in. And so when people came up to us, like drove up in their car, we had one sweet old guy. He walked up asking for his dinner. We would have a group greet them. We'd get them their dinner, and we would ask if we could pray for them. Talk to them if they were interested in talking, and they would go on their merry way. And all of them were super nice.
What was your experience?
My experience, it was kind of like Kenzie's. We were just stationed off doing the tasks that we had.
What was your task?
My task was to greet people.
Mm-hmm.
So as people came up, I would go say hi, talk to them, and then just as they were waiting to get their bag of food, because we didn't package the food until they got there. So that gave us time to talk to them, pray with them, just get to know them and make a connection for street reach in the future.
Mm-hmm. Kinsey, what was your task?
So I was playing with the kids that they would bring. We had 2 sweet little ones. We had one named Cameron.
Right, you used the word sweet and Cameron in the same sentence.
I did
if
not
you don't
think
know, her sibling is named Cameron.
And they had another sweet little girl. I did not catch her name, and I felt so bad about that. But she wasn't talking yet, so. But yeah, we played. The little boy, was playing. We had a little scooper thing, and he was whacking balls with it.
Yeah.
Me and Carly, and occasionally Ryan would go chasing after him. It was future hockey player, that one. And the little girl, she was clinging all over Cecilia, and she loved it when we would blow bubbles with them. And despite the fact that not a lot of the bubbles came out, she was intrigued nonetheless. I kid you not. Like, she was blowing bubbles herself. It was amazing.
Very cool. So let's switch gear real quick. Kinsey, hold on to that. Last night we had our first worship experience after dinner. Why don't you share your thoughts on that and how that whole thing went?
Oh, I thought that was I thought that was great. So we had this. What was his name?
I can't remember his name.
Ross.
Ross.
His name was Ross.
Thick set of head of black hair. I was very jealous of his hair. But anyway, I digress.
No, so he was leading us in worship. Beforehand, we had like a little dance party. We were getting it
Yes.
was like preschool. We were getting our wiggles out.
You're not wrong.
We was all dancing, and we kind of filed into our rows and shuffle. And we just did some of the general like Joy of Him worship songs and stuff. And the people in front of us were getting like really into it, like hands in the air. They were praising.
Do you notice how
Jesus.
they swayed in time?
Yes,
Yeah, I was
they were
impressed.
perfectly in sync. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
Mhm.
And I'm looking over like I envy these people. They've got it down.
They've got rhythm.
They do have rhythm.
Yeah. And then the same guy who led us in worship actually brought the message.
Yeah, he had a message.
He did a really good job. What was your thought on the whole worship experience?
I like Kenzie. I thought it was great because we haven't done that this trip yet, and that's always one of my favorite parts of any youth event and trip. And it was really powerful, and the message was like, no matter, or it was like, why are you here? And then we talked about the Great Commission in Matthew, and just to try and figure out our reasoning for being in Memphis on this trip.
Very good. All right, let's close it out by Nora. What would you ask the people watching the video right now? How can they be praying for us as they think about us the rest of this week?
I think you can just pray for our safety, still walking on the streets, picking up the kids. You can also just pray that there are kids to be picked up to come to Bible Club, because today's numbers were really low. We had 4 stations planned, but there was always one station that didn't have any kids because the numbers just weren't there.
Yeah. What would you ask for people to pray for, Kenzie?
I'm praying, a little bit of a selfish one, but I'm praying the heat goes down a little bit, because heat kind of fries the brain a little bit, and I want everyone to be serving with a joyful heart. I don't want anyone to end up snapping at each other, but so far I don't think we're in danger of that. I think we're doing pretty good.
Minor Jefferson, but it's
very small. He's made it almost 2 whole days, and he's only freaked out once. And just general prayers about hopefully the number going up, because I think it was supposed to be hottest the first earlier days. I think it's supposed to gradually cool down.
Yeah.
And that we're able to, if we can get even one of these kids to turn to Christ, that is mission accomplished.
Yeah, great point. And again, just thank you all for tuning in and checking us out and praying for us. I like to remind people when I'm on mission that those who are where you are, at home, wherever home is for you, not with us this week in Memphis, you're part of the team. Your prayer, your faithful prayers are foundational to everything we're doing every day. So pray for safety, for children to come, for our students. Folks, our Concord students have been amazing, even these 2. No, seriously, they have been fantastic. They have risen to the occasion. It was a major challenge to prep for this week, and their prep work and their faithfulness in doing that is showing up big time, day in and day out. They're prepared. They're on top of everything. They're doing a fantastic job. Couldn't ask for a better group. And so praise the Lord for them. But thank you for joining us in prayer and for checking out our video. And this is us signing off from Memphis. And until we see you again next time.